Welcome into this week's edition of our 48 Blitz preview show. Thanks so much for joining us each and every week. I am not Georgia Chambers. My teammate is currently down on the 40 acres at the University of Texas as the Longhorns prepare to host top-ranked Alabama on Saturday. We'll hear from her throughout the week on all of our digital platforms and at WAFF.com. I am getting ready for our game of the week. That will pit Fife, the number one team in Class 2A, against the Warriors of Whitesburg Christian. Whitesburg Christian just literally in the infancy stages of their program and having the opportunity to host their first ever 48 Blitz game of the week. Both teams undefeated in region play in Class 2A as well. Should be a good matchup coming up later tonight. And I say tonight because the majority of our football games heading into the week 3 high school football season within the state had some weather changes. Heavy rain expected across North Alabama and throughout the state, so a number of programs and teams are getting ready to play their football games tonight. We will have our 48 Blitz show as well coming up tonight at 10. But we got to talk our game of the week. As I mentioned, Paul Bennyfield and the Fife Red Devils, undefeated, number one in Class 2A, preparing to travel on the road to prepare to face the Warriors of Whitesburg Christian.
So this year we've done some things, but we're hoping to clean that up and play a game to where we don't have any goofy mistakes and penalties and not drop the ball and that kind of thing.
These guys are ready to play. I guess they think maybe one day quicker to get, but we also know that we're going to have to play full quarters to be competitive with them. They got a good team.
Should be a great contest for sure. We have a number of games on tap coming up later tonight that you will see on our 48 Blitz show. We will have that online this week. Yes, that's because we have the opening game of the NFL kickoff and the opening game of the NFL season coming up right now, a little bit after 7 tonight. That'll be the Buffalo Bills going to take on the defending world champion Los Angeles Rams. So we will switch all of our coverage for our 48 Blitz show on our digital platform 48 Now. Make sure you have your streaming device and our website and Facebook Now to be able to stream that show and to catch all of the action for week 3 of the high school football season. We will still have games on Friday, a handful still left, but we will indeed have our week 3 edition of our 48 Blitz show coming up later tonight at 10. Well, our own Georgia Chambers did have the opportunity before she hit the road to Austin, Texas to talk to what's been an amazing story thus far in high school football in North Alabama. The Hazel Green Trojans under head coach Charlie Wilburn lost their first contest to the Sparkman Senators 77-9. Since then, Hazel Green has bounced back with 2 consecutive wins to turn their season around. So a big credit to Hazel Green, a big credit to Charlie Wilburn and his coaching staff that keep that program, team, and kids together as they prepare for the meat of their schedule within Class 6A. Georgia had the opportunity to sit down and speak with, and talk to rather, Coach Wilburn earlier this week via Zoom, and we have that interview for you coming up right now on our 48 Blitz preview show.
Your first season with the Trojans, how are you feeling with this group of guys? What's kind of stood out to you in your first couple of weeks?
You know, probably the biggest thing is just our resiliency and our growth. We really haven't been together that long. And so, these first couple of weeks have really been a lot about kind of getting to know who we are and continuing to kind of develop an identity. And, we're not there yet, but it's been really exciting to kind of see these guys start to come together and start to believe a little bit in themselves and more importantly in each other. And obviously the results the last couple of weeks have kind of borne that out.
You kind of touched on resiliency. Obviously, that first week, really tough loss, but following that week, you posted a shutout. How important? What was kind of that dynamic in practice? A
lot of it was, and this is hard, from in a modern time where, kids and everybody really is bombarded with, social media and all those kinds of things of, everybody kind of is wants to have the instant analysis of what happened and that one game is going to define, the rest of your life. And so we made a pretty concerted effort to just put it behind us. We met after the game that Friday night and again on Monday, and just said, look, guys, it is what it is. We didn't play well. We played a really good team, and so the thing here is we need to take the lesson, and learn from it, and not let it beat us twice, and really just kind of focus in on ourselves, right, and focus on us and getting better at what we do, and continuing to kind of progress and develop. And they obviously did an outstanding job of buying into that. That our kids deserve so much credit for that, and our staff for kind of being able to lock them in and say, hey, look, it's one game. It doesn't define who we are as a team. It doesn't define who you are as a person. You can feel bad about it, but let's move forward and continue to grow.
So with that mentality, kind of take me in the locker room after that next Friday's game, after you post a shutout. What was that like with the energy with the guys?
It was really special for them. I was, like I said, it was a great moment for them to kind of see, if we do kind of pull together and believe in one another and try to do things the right way, that you're going to have a chance to have good results. Doesn't mean you're going to win every week, but you can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to if you don't do those things. And so it was kind of some vindication for them to see, okay, maybe we're a little better than we thought. Because Grissom's not a bad football team. Lee's not a bad football team, and so for them, like I said, it's been really big from a confidence standpoint of just seeing, okay, we're all right.
So teams typically by around week 3 or 4 kind of have their identity and know that the team, they're going to be, for the rest of the season. Working into this Friday's matchup, what are you guys kind of focusing on within your identity?
We've talked a lot about kind of being worried more about ourselves than the opponent, and we've tried to hold to that. Obviously, it's a big game, and it's one that means a lot to the people here. It means a lot to the people at Buckhorn, but not letting that be bigger than it is. Not letting the circumstances and the environment and all the things that we're going to see during the week take away from worrying about getting better at us. And from an identity standpoint, that's continuing to play really, really hard defensively. And they're cliche things like tackling. We've got to tackle well. We've got to get off the field on third down. Offensively, being able to run the ball, and that's something that the last 2 weeks we've really kind of grown in that side of things, and being able to sustain some drives. So, and being solid in the kicking game. Not. Everybody saw last night how important that is, right? So, making sure that we're doing all those little things right to give ourselves a chance to have the success that we want to have.
And then kind of going more into your journey as becoming head coach at Hazel Green, how welcoming has the community been at Hazel Green, welcoming you in as head coach?
It's been really good. It's always been a place that, I'm from this area and coached a lot of my career in this area. It's always been a place that, we've kind of looked at and said, that's got a chance to be pretty good. I mean, it's always had great support, and so just trying to kind of come in and do things a little different. I mean, kind of the way that we go about things is a little different from most people. And, and our kids have embraced that. Our community has embraced that, and more than anything, they've really bought into supporting our kids, and really that's the biggest thing for me is are they going to buy into helping our kids and wanting to see them have success, and we've had so many people that have stepped up and tried to help us make that happen.
And I always love to ask, obviously you teach your guys a lot, but what's something, I know it's only been a few weeks, but what's something they've taught you so far this season?
Like I said, I think their ability to, again, really kind of flush some difficult circumstances and move forward. And that's something we preach, but it's always something that you kind of wonder, okay, is the message getting through? And obviously with them, that has happened. I mean, we've got a great group of seniors that have, they've been through a lot. They've been through coaching changes. They've been through, having a season where they had 3 or 4 games that maybe could have gone the other way. And they've been awesome. They've taken to what we've asked them to do. They've tried to lead. They're trying to kind of lay the foundation for what we want to be. And that's been probably the most fun part for me, is seeing them take to that and kind of take the leadership role and run with it.
You've mentioned a lot of great qualities, whether that's leadership or resiliency, but what's something that you hope, like, once they graduate, they take off the football field and with them into their lives?
That resiliency one's probably the biggest one. And we talked about that after that first Friday night and that following week is, there's going to be days where things don't go right. There's going to be challenges in your life, in your job, in your marriage, and, as a parent, and you've got to be able to push through those things. And, the way that you do that is to just trust, number one, trust in yourself and believe in yourself. And sometimes you may be the only one that does that. And so being able to kind of hold on to that and have enough confidence in who you are as a man to continue to get up and do the right thing.
Just a great turnaround for the Trojans. Good luck to Hazel Green as they move into the meat of their regular season schedule. Okay, that's going to do it for our 48 preview show. I will see you back coming up tonight at 10 for our 48 Blitz show online to this week. Once again, we are digital this week instead of our normal time airing on Friday nights. That's because a number of our games have been moved to tonight to avoid the heavy rainfall expected across North Alabama and throughout the state for high school football teams. Still some games still going to be scheduled to play on Friday, but our show in its entirety will air on our 48 Now and, of course, our streaming and any streaming devices that you have that can reach us online, whether it's Facebook Live, WAFF.com, or our 48 Now app. That is going to do it for the 48 preview show. We hope to see you coming back here tonight, and fingers crossed, if Mother Nature can help, we'll see you back for week 4 coming up next Friday night.